Welcome, Kim.
Thank you.
Welcome, Kim Marcus, to episode number 25 of KAL Experience. So this is a quarter century. I was just thinking earlier. It's a quarter century right here.
Big milestone, Kev.
It is, man. We hitting all kind of milestones.
You grinding out here, man.
That's it, man. Just trying to do my thing and set an example for these young folk out here.
Trying to teach the youngest out here, the young bloods.
Exactly. The ones who probably know a lot more about YouTube and social media than I'll ever know in my entire life. But super excited to be here. We got back-to-back guest episodes, two great ones for you guys. So today we got my boy Kim Marcus here, who has his own podcast and his own movement, and he's super into fitness and wellness. And I wouldn't even say trying. You got some content and you got some sort of motivation and inspiration for people, whether you realize it or not. It's definitely out there, and it's helping people like myself. I mean, part of like what I'm kind of getting myself into a little bit now is trying to focus on things that are in our control. You know, what we eat and what we do with our bodies is something that we, for the most part, can control. Mm-hmm. And so when I see, like, I think about it a lot. I think about how difficult must it be, and this is part of what I want to talk to you about. Mm-hmm. How difficult is it for you to have that level of discipline to not eat the foods that you know you love eating, and because you know it's important for you, and because you know that you're sort of working towards a goal and stuff. So
yeah,
we're going. That's a little.
That's a powerful.
That's
question,
a powerful.
man. You're starting off strong.
And that was only the intro. That was only the intro. I don't even know. It just came to me. But we're gonna talk about that. I got some other questions that
book out here, transparent.
That's what I'm talking about, man. And I'm excited because, guys. So I've been on, I think, 3 episodes of your show.
Yeah.
I Still Wi-Fi show, and always had a great time. And even the very last time I was a guest on your show was like right before, it was over the summer, right before I started working, right before I started teaching. Mm-hmm. And I remember that episode. I called it Kevin Allen's Captivating Life Story on my channel. So check that out if you guys get a chance. But I remember that episode, the way I felt, as well as feedback from other people, was that like you asked so many questions that were so like you did research. As a host of a show, you knew the types of things, the type of direction you wanted the show to go in. And for me, as someone who's now starting to kind of dabble in having guests on and stuff like that, I'm thinking like, hey, I want to have obviously positive energy like you always have, and I want people out there to feel inspired and to learn something from this episode. And so I'm super appreciative for you, scheduling. I know the NBA starts back today, so I know you could have been home chilling watching
Lakers,
that.
Clippers in a little bit, yes.
So we go get right to it, because we got that right on the back burner. So first, I want you to introduce yourself to my audience.
Yeah, Kim Marcus, aka I Still Wi-Fi, aka Crush Workouts, man. I have a podcast out there, 66 episodes strong. The last 36 episodes are on YouTube. The rest are on SoundCloud, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Podbean. I don't know who listens to Podbean, but it's on there. Crush Workouts is something I started because it's one of those things that I was really into fitness, and it just gradually started growing because people would ask me questions about like, how many days a week are you working out? Like random people, or they're like, oh, what are you eating? So it actually, not to dive in too early, but like I just started posting how many times I was going to the gym. It started off like on Foursquare. I don't know if you remember Foursquare.
I'm not familiar. What is Foursquare?
Foursquare was an app where you could just check in locations, and then it was it was a social media app, and then people could see that you checked in.
Okay.
So I was just checking in from the gym every day, and then at a certain point, you become like, I don't know if it was like the king or the chief or whatever it is of that place. So people was like, dang, you in the gym all the time. And it was early, like 5 a.m., 6 a.m. Whenever the gym opened, that's when I was there, like still to today. Yeah. So like it started from there, then it moved kind of Snapchat, then to Instagram, and to go into, I don't know which direction we're going, but the I Still Wi-Fi Show podcast, that Instagram page was actually started as I Still Wi-Fi Fitness. So I was thinking about it at first as far as like how to kind of brand it, and then it wasn't really hitting, and I don't think I was like into it as much. But people had told me like, hey man, you should get a website. People wanted to design a website for me. People were asking for tips. So I started thinking through it, and I don't even know where I came up with the like another workout crush. So after I finish a workout, I would say that's another workout crush.
I got it right too, right? I was like, yo, this guy's gonna love when I say that right now, 'cause I got the voice down too. That's another workout. Is that with the slash?
Correct.
That's another workout. Crush. And I got the voice. And I got the Kim voice.
Yeah, barely got to get the voice down. But so I started with that, and I knew like maybe it could evolve, and people were saying it. They were like, bro, if I forget to say it one day, they were like, I need you to say it on Instagram. So I kind of created a separate channel for whoever wanted to follow the fitness journey that I was on. So it was just one of the things, like I started growing on the side, and then I didn't want to, have everything in one place where, I mean, there's different strategies out there, but I wanted to kind of bifurcate out what people were following me for. So if you want to follow me fitness, I don't want to show like arm training workouts to people that don't want to see it. So if you want to see that, you can go follow Crush Workouts. If you want to see podcasts, lifestyle stuff, you can still stick with my original page, the I Still Wi-Fi Show.
That's dope, man. That's exactly, I think, the sort of awareness and kind of knowing that, at what point are you putting out content that's meaningful. And it's kind of crazy. It's like we do live in a world now when we're trying to brand ourselves and stuff like that.
For sure.
That like the content that you're putting out needs to be valuable in order for people to kind of sort of start gravitating to you, in order for people that know you for sure to be able to be interested in what you're doing, but also for people that are discovering you through hashtags and through posting and stuff like that. So that's definitely part of the strategy for sure. I want to ask you this. So when would you say is the time in your life when you, I'd say, started getting into fitness? When you start getting into fitness?
That's a loaded question, bro, because it really started, I mean, the mentality I feel like was always there. Like I always looked up to like, those WWF wrestlers. They were always in great shape. My man LL Cool J was always in good shape. And, ladies love LL Cool J or Cool James or whatever.
Sure.
So I'm just like, yo, I mean, it started off as a vanity thing for real. Like I just wanted, to seek it. I wanted female attention. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I grew up overweight most of my life. I literally remember what happened when I hindsight's 2020. Like I was like a regular kid, regular shape, and then we went down to Orlando for the first time, and we were hitting like buffets up every time. So I saw myself from 5. I saw school pictures.
Yeah.
And 6 years old. Which means like that summer, the first time we went down there, like my weight just exploded, and I was just like an overweight kid for that whole time.
Yeah.
So from then to about junior year in high school, man, I see like when you see the fitness stuff, you don't believe like you can almost do it yourself, right? Because it's distance. Like somebody else out there who's incredible is doing fitness, right? Like they're getting into shape. These transformations are not within my grasp because nobody around me is doing it. So I think junior year, I came in like, it started getting serious. My weight started getting crazy. And I could know that my weight started getting crazy because I don't think people know that how like your diet and nutrition really affects stuff that happens to you. It could be like skin issues. It could be anything. And at that time, I had like brown bumps and stuff. Like I don't know what was happening, but like I had like brown bumps on my neck and stuff like that. And then my doctor, shout out Dr. Hobson. I don't even know if she's still alive.
Shout out.
She was an old lady, old Russian lady, but like she knew I was overweight for a very long time. But when junior year hit, she was like, you need to start losing weight. And I was like 226 at the time, but I was like no muscle mass, no nothing. And I was just like, and the weird thing, I was playing basketball like every day, but my diet was so trash. So junior year, wrestling starts day after Thanksgiving is when we start, which is a horrible time to start.
You were doing wrestling freshman and sophomore?
Freshman and sophomore year, but I was overweight, but not bad. Like I was like 170, and then I was like 190 or something sophomore year. So I was overweight, but wasn't bad.
Yeah.
But then it kind of exploded my junior year.
Yeah.
And I remember I was like 226. I was like, dang, that means I'm a heavyweight. So anything after 215 was a heavyweight.
Right.
So I had to cut down to make 215, which is the next one up from heavyweight.
Right.
So I did that, and I don't know, it's almost like the Michael Jordan Last Dance. I had betted my JV coach. I said by the end of the season I could get down to 190, and he looked at me like, no. I mean, I never did it. He just told me I couldn't do it. Basically, it was like it wasn't possible. So I did like a crash diet, what I would not recommend. I probably did like 900 calories a day or something like that, and I was doing cardio because of wrestling every single day. I would skip lunch and save the $5 my parents gave me, and I would buy video games, which worked out.
Of course.
And I was getting better grades, so I was just in the library, so kind of all worked out, even though I was hungry.
All pieced together there.
Yeah, so by the end of the season, I got down to 190. So you think about it, from November to I think February-ish, I got all the way down to 190. So I was like, I always had like a jacket on, and then people started taking notice, like, did you lose weight? I'm like, yeah, I was, wrestling and stuff like this, blatant wrestling, and I was taking like weight loss pills that you shouldn't buy now or shouldn't be able to, with ephedra, all types of banned substances at the time.
Sure.
And I got down to 190, so I wrestled, did well in the last tournament, but I'm like, all right. My boy Ant Green, which was wrestling 189. So I was like, man, if I can get down to 170, which is the next weight class down, for my senior year, we could be, a little dynamic duel, Batman Robin type of thing going on. So I was like, that summer, I literally like locked in. I wasn't hanging out with none of my friends. I was just on the block, and I would just had like probably like a similar diet, like 900 calories or something. I was eating like boiled eggs and stuff like that.
This is junior year going into senior year.
Junior year going to senior, so
having that discipline.
190, yeah. Discipline, like it was just, I remember it was just me and my mom at the crib for some reason. I think my mom had like semi-retired on medical leave or something like that. And so I was just running at the track every day, doing like bootleg weightlifting workouts. I had like 30 pounds. I was doing like shoulder press and bootleg workouts. But what ended up happening is like I got down to 170, came back in the senior year, and number one, I started getting more attention from females. So I was like, all right.
I like how you look that way first.
I was like, that was me literally looking around. Just like, oh, kid, you looking good. I was like, oh, snap. This is the first time, you know what I'm saying, I get some attention. You're like, you get hugs. Like, that's all I wanted back in the day was like a hug.
Let me get a little attention, please. I mean, come on, man.
Look, fam, those romantic comedies when the big dude gets the girl, not real.
That's not realistic at all. That's not how it actually goes in real life.
It's not, because like when I lost that weight and got down to like 170, there was females started giving me more attention. Like, you know what I mean? Pretty girls would come, like, wanted to go on dates and stuff like that. And I was doing well at wrestling, doing well in school. Yeah. And at the time, I'm just like, yo, all right, well, this is like a thing I can kind of stick with. But at the time, I was just doing running. I was more so than weight training than anything. But I knew the discipline was there. Yeah. But I didn't know how to actually like navigate it towards like kind of what I'm doing right now. Was it putting everything together between the weight training and the cardio, not look sucked up like I was junior year, or senior year, sorry. Because if you think about it, then I was like 170, no muscle mass, but now I'm like 180, but I have a significant more amount of muscle. So I think at that time, to answer long-winded way, to answer your question, is that I think junior to senior year is the time where I really realized like that discipline was like inside me, and I could accomplish it if I just totally locked in and focused on what I needed to do.
Dang, so junior, okay, all right. So junior year into senior year, that's when this whole thing started. Yeah. From that point till right now, obviously there's been a tremendous amount of sort of knowledge, things that you learned about what to do, what not to do. Down,
a lot of that.
how did you? So let me ask this question, because I mean, so here's the thing. Let me say this. So I think most people probably know that if you want to be healthy, if you want to look a certain way, that you do need that discipline that you talked about earlier that a lot of people maybe don't have. But in addition to that, you need the discipline. They know that, you always hear about physical fitness plus what you eat. Those two things combined together are both, I don't know if equally as important, but they're both very important for sure. So from that point until now, where you're just, a machine as a compliment, obviously, but in terms of how you sort of conduct yourself, but like what types of things did you do to educate yourself from then till now?
Yeah, for sure. So one of the things I had looked up originally was, if you think about it, who gets in shape the fastest? And to me, when I researched it, it's really movie stars. You ever watch these guys who go from like flabby movie stars?
Sure.
Then 6 months later, they're like in incredible shape.
Sure, yeah.
So I'm like looking like, how did they do that so fast?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like obviously they have a nutritionist and then, they have time to do all of that. But to me, that means it's possible, right?
Yeah.
So like if I give a 6 month window or 8 month window, like, is it possible for me to get in shape? And the answer is yes. So that means I just need to put together a plan that will cause me to, reach that target result. You know what I'm saying? So when I looked at it, it was Will Smith and Ali.
Okay.
Then it was Will Smith and like iRobot. It was Brad Pitt and Troy. How did these guys get in shape so fast? So I still have Will Smith's like Ali plan like bookmarked on my MacBook from like years ago.
Wow.
But so I started looking at their plan. They were doing like a lot of heavy high volume work. And then even at that time, looking at it, I'm like, all right, I kind of get it, but I don't know. I don't really get it. You know what I'm saying? So it was one of those things where I'm just like, all right, I think I can lock in on that discipline and make it happen. I know the discipline's there. And when you talk about discipline, I never personally categorized it like that.
Okay.
Because it's almost like I have a goal and there's a way to get to that goal, and these are the steps I need to take. So when people are like, you're so disciplined, like, it's not like I'm stopping myself from doing something. It's more so like that thing is pulling me, that goal is pulling me towards it. So it's like, it's not even something that I'm like being restrictive. Like I'm gravitating towards that by putting these goals in place. And if you listen, I listen to a lot of motivational stuff. Well, Tony Robbins says, like, you don't want a goal that you push yourself to do. You want something that pulls yourself. And for me, fitness came to a point where I need it in my life to feel like I'm being successful or I'm achieving something for that day. When I'm in my wife, Tiff, love my wife, but when I'm in my space, that zone, she knows like I'm locked in serious. I'm goofy, like talking, cracking jokes all the time, but when I'm in that space, it's like locked in, focused on this workout, that's it. And then I just learned that, I need that in my life, and then the discipline aspect to it is just, I don't see it as that. It's just something I need to do to get to my target. So when people say I'm disciplined and like I don't eat certain types of food during the week or something like that, I'm like, that's what I need to do. If you need to do something to get something, it's almost like, hey, you have asthma, like to stop yourself from breathing hard, you need to take this asthma pump. And you just look at the doctor like, I'm not taking no asthma pump. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, why wouldn't you do that if you know that would help benefit you? You know what I'm saying? So that's how I view it. Like, these are steps I'm taking to benefit my life and in the long run. And now, like, being in a space where I'm motivating other people is very powerful. I think we talked about that offline.
It is. Wow. So a lot to unpack there too. So and I haven't heard that before. You have a goal in mind, and you said something about like it not feeling like you are pushing yourself to get to that goal. If that goal is maybe truly something that you care about, or it's something that's meaningful or important, then that goal should be pulling you towards that. I could totally relate to that. And I think that most people, I was surprised to hear that from your end, and I think most people, especially when we talk about fitness, most people can't conceptualize the fact that someone is willingly waking up earlier than their bodies usually would want them to wake up, and someone is willingly not eating foods that they know that they believe that they can't go without any day in particular. So it's really I think it's empowering and interesting that you say that, because you don't feel the way that I think people might think you feel, the way I thought you do, the way I thought anyone who's restricting themselves, but it's not, you don't feel that way.
Yeah, not at all. It's really like, I mean, it did start off being like, yeah, you want female attention, like you do a lot of stuff when you're younger, but it kind of like evolved into something else, right? So when I dive deep into like my mentality, why I discipline, why I got into this life, if you look back at the prior generation, right, our parents, grandparents, they didn't take their fitness serious. They were worried about other things, right? Yeah. I mean, but they didn't take their fitness serious. A lot of the stuff you see at, let's say, churches, or a lot of the stuff you see at like family gatherings, it's going to be a lot of crappy food, a lot of unhealthy food, and a lot of that has a bad effect on your health. Like it could affect like different stuff, such as like increasing your medical costs through having prescription drugs that you need to take. And then, you know, when you get on prescription drugs, you need this to offset that. Like all of a sudden the side effects, your blood sugar's up now.
Yeah.
You need this to push your cholesterol down, whatever.
Right.
So at that point I started thinking like, man, I do not want to be on any prescription drug. I don't want to, like, some reason I have like, the only thing I'm addicted to is fitness, I guess. But like, I don't want to have an addictive personality where I'm stuck on drugs for the rest of my life or dependent on any type of drug. So it started manifesting like, all right, if I stick to this fitness thing, like I don't need, well, there's a lower probability, I'll say, right? Because you don't never know what's going to happen with your body or anything, right? But there's a way for me to decrease the possibility of me being sick. There's a way to decrease the probability of me being on prescription drugs by getting into this fitness life. And also, it's not like I'm restricting myself every day. Like, you see me drink, you see me eat chips, you see me eat pizza, you see me eat a lot of stuff. And it's about like having the lifestyle which you constantly trying to, you know, evolve and get better as a person, right? Even when I watch one of your videos when you're speaking on like how do you really like look at yourself introspectively, understand like, am I being a good friend? Am I being a good family member to like whoever, your sisters, your brother, your mom, your dad, or whatever? It's the same way with fitness and your health. Is like, are you doing everything within your power to, you know, benefit yourself in the long run? And I say 9 out of 10 times when you go to your cafeteria at your job, like, is it going to be good food anyway? Like, how good can the food in the cafeteria be? Like, how good can this food be? Like, it's not like you're restricting yourself, but it's like you're doing stuff to help your body, you know, perform at a high level. And one of the quotes I have is like, if you don't work for your body, how do you expect your body to work for you? Which means that if I'm not training my body to work at optimum levels, how would I expect my body to fight against any virus or any infection that comes into my body or any autoimmune system problem, whatever, if I'm not working that? It's almost like your cardiovascular health, right? Like, if you don't work your heart by doing cardio, like your heart's going to be working harder over the years because it's not used to, you know, working. It's not being trained or being worked out as, you know, as part of your body or part of your routine or whatever. So in the long run, your heart is just pumping. You be walking around or walking up the stairs and your heart is just like beating hard as hell. And if you're training your body, that won't happen. Like your heart will be used to, you know, running or operating at a higher level. So
that definitely makes sense. So, all right, let me ask this one more question on fitness that from my viewers out there. So, and for me actually. So, like, I kind of look at, you know, people who are, you know, laser focused on fitness and it's a lifestyle thing, right? Lifestyle. Then I look at people who just don't do anything related to fitness, don't care or don't know what to do or whatever. And then people in the middle. I consider myself someone in the middle. I go for walks. I'll eat healthy. I won't even say most. I say most of the time, maybe, you know, a good amount of the time. But not. I know there's a lot of room for improvement. So my question would be like, I guess for the person out there that's watching, that hopefully it's everyone that knows that it's important, at least by this point.
Hope so.
Right. Hopefully at this. If not, go ahead and hit that rewind button. Go ahead.
I got ready for a long time on this. This is all like.
Yo, make sure you acknowledge the importance of this at this point, at the bare minimum, okay? And then we can proceed.
I'm just saying, man, it's important, man. Take your health serious. I promise you will not regret it, yo.
To that point, what would you say to the person that's watching that's like, oh, this person, they're still gonna call it discipline, even though you said it's not for you. They're gonna call it discipline because they don't feel like they have the strength to be able to implement these changes that are necessary. So we know that nothing worth having is gonna be easy. Most things are gonna be challenging to kind of get the ball rolling. But if there was one thing to start, is there something like, is it like, yo, go for a walk for this amount of time every day? Is it, one day out of the week at least? Maybe start with one day. Like, say that this day I'm not eating anything that I know is bad for me, that has, bad stuff in the ingredients that I can't pronounce. Like that type of thing.
I mean, right. So if I was training somebody, think about The Biggest Loser, right? And you think about people that size at the beginning. I'm not gonna put them on a regimen that I'm doing right now, because one, they're just like, man, forget this, I'm not coming back.
There's no way.
Or whatever. So it's a slow progress, even a process, even for myself, right, to get to this level I'm at right now. I think I have a lot of room for improvement, but to get to this level, it was a slow transition. I started off, running, and then I started getting into weight training,
right? And
I was just absorbing a lot of information via YouTube. I think that's actually one of your questions you asked, like where I was getting information from. Like YouTube. YouTube has so much information. There's billions of articles out there, what to eat, and they all say the same thing. So if there's a common pattern to get to your goal, why not take it, right? So if I was really beginning, and actually one of my boys had reached out to me, he wanted to get back into like being more fit and being more healthy, and his motivation is like he wants to be there for his kids as they grow up, which is a powerful motivator. Because like you don't want to be at a point when you're older and you can't play with your kids because you didn't take your health serious. And if you think about what I've read, I don't know how true this is, but it sounds true. Older people, two regrets is not taking their health serious and not mending friendships that kind of went awry. You know what I'm saying? So when I think about that, like if an older person is telling me like, I wish I took my health serious, let's take your health serious right now.
Start
going on
today.
So if I was just beginning, I would, first get off any liquid calories. So anything that you're drinking that has calories, iced tea or your frappe lattes or whatever it is, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, start drinking more water. Get into water. When Tiffany start working out, just straight water. That's it, right? For the whole day. If you're really beginning, you'll lose 5-10 pounds just off the strength of that alone. Now you throw in some light cardio to get, just to get the blood going and get the heart going. Then let's say you can go for walks or do bikes. If you have a treadmill, you can do walks on there, or you have a cycle or bike, whatever.
Right.
Peloton, you balling like
Peloton
that.
on deck. There you go. Shout out.
Bougie people out there.
Hey, I know a couple people.
Yo, shout out y'all.
Yeah, shout out y'all.
But
you know who you are.
Yeah. But like, if you're like doing light stuff like that, you gradually grow. Like, all right, maybe start 3 days a week, you're doing cardio session, right? And then with food, you want to just make sure it's not fried. Like, how hard is it to make sure your food is not fried, right?
Okay.
But maybe just enjoy your fried food on a certain day, like a cheat day like I have now. And you can still, that means you can still have it, but you just can't have it all the time. Why would you want something all the time
It's going to kind of water down
the
enjoyment of it.
The food is, I'm telling you, the food is so much better when you like don't eat it all week. My wife will attest to this. Like, pizza's better, Taco Bell's better, everything is better, dog.
I got that.
Because you like don't have it during the week. You're so focused on like achieving this goal that you take that out your diet. But start to get into weight training. Find healthy alternatives to your favorite dish. So like, what's my favorite thing? Chocolate. I love chocolate, so I have chocolate protein shakes. I have like it's not chocolate, but I like peanut butter, so I have a peanut butter protein bar that I take. Like little things that kind of help me get along. Like, let's say I like burgers or whatever. I can buy 96% lean beef, which you get from Trader Joe's for like $5. You can make that, get a whole wheat bun, and you can still have like a low fat cheese, or you can really sometimes have regular cheese or no cheese, and have a whole wheat bread or a bun or whatever, and that's being lean. I mean, it's not gonna be as fulfilling as going to Checkers and buying like 3 for $4 big Bufors or whatever they're called. You know what I'm saying?
Is that I don't even know. I haven't been at Checkers.
But it's gonna hold you over until maybe your cheat day or whatever.
Right.
So I'll say have healthy alternatives. Don't drink your calories, and just don't eat fried food, and start getting a little cardio in here and there. And once you see the benefits like transition, once you see the progress are coming in, like it gets addicting. Like, if this wasn't addicting, I would have been stopped doing this. You know what I'm saying?
I got you. You see the results. You feel, obviously feel great.
Yeah.
And what you mentioned earlier that you mentioned, and we didn't talk about it too much, but you said like what you're doing. I said it earlier, you confirmed it, that you're inspiring people, and you're doing it right now, right? You're inspiring people and educating people to. I think you're doing a good job, man. Don't be too hard on yourself out here. But like, definitely, like that's also empowering and addicting, to use that same word. Something that you want to continue to do, and that's what better thing is there to be sort of all about than things that are going to be helping other people.
Right.
So I think that's awesome. We're gonna change gears a little bit. I got a couple other questions for you before we wrap up.
Yeah.
That are not directly related to fitness, but they could be depending on your answer. Okay. So the first question I'm gonna ask you is, if you had an opportunity to have anything you want on a billboard, what would be on this billboard? It could be words, picture, whatever. But you're putting something on a billboard. Doesn't matter the cost, whatever you have. You can say whatever you want. What do you think you're gonna put there? Interesting question. I'm interested in what everyone's thinking. I got all different answers so far from different people. I just want to know where your mind's at.
It'll probably be, okay, I know this is probably against the rules, probably one or two things. It'll probably just be my Crush Workout logo or I Still Wi-Fi logo.
Okay.
Or it'll be something that says like, hey, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Kim Marcus wants to meet you. Cause I would love to have just a sit down talk with him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's actually dope.
And to get somebody's attention like that, maybe it might be on a shade room or something like that, where it gets his attention.
Right,
it's like,
right.
Oh, this guy wants to meet me.
Everyone's posting it, and obviously they'll have like some way for them to know who you are.
Yeah, because that's that's one of my role models, my main role models. So just to sit down, he seems authentic. Like I have some role models that I don't know if I see them in real life, they have that same presence or appearance to me that they have when I'm seeing them on TV and stuff like that. But The Rock seems like a genuine dude that really will listen to what you say.
Yeah.
Drop some gems for you and just be cool like that. So that goal would kind of be to solicit a conversation.
Yeah, that's dope.
Dwayne The Rock, because you watch his transition to being a wrestler to a movie star to being whatever he is now. He's just this mega icon.
Yeah,
so just to have a conversation about him, because I've seen some of his interviews where he was very ambitious early on, and that's I wish to have that same ambition.
Yeah.
And hopefully, inside, I really do. But he was he was seeing what people say, don't compare yourself, but he was seeing what Will Smith was doing at the box office. He was like, yo, I want to be bigger than that. You know what I'm saying? So, I would love to see his ambition, his why he does what he does now. You know what I'm saying? Because he started at a late age as being an action star, and he's up there now. So just have a conversation with him. So.
Man, we're gonna make that happen. At some point down the road, we're gonna be able to do a little clip of this little thing that we talked about.
Yeah.
You are ambitious, so I think that that's part of your goal.
Hey, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, if you're watching this right now, the KI experience, yo, come on, let's meet, let's talk, let's have a combo.
Let's make that happen. I love that. Okay, all right, that's actually dope. For some reason, I didn't know that he was so instrumental. That the workouts that you mentioned and the fact that
he's intense,
I did not know that. Yeah, that's dope. I mean, so when I think about him, I obviously maybe it's not obvious, but I used to watch wrestling back in the day, and I remember him being Rocky Maivia, is that his name, right? And he was like a hated, the fans didn't like him, right? Was that the word?
Term, heel, yeah.
Okay, so and then he just played off of that and turned into cracking on the fans and doing all kind of stuff, and then the fans started liking him, and then the rest was
he was always quick with it, which I like, man.
Yeah. I'm
never that quick with it. Right. And his responses are just on point all the time.
Right, super entertaining, man.
The Rock. So
yeah, that was dope. All right, next question. That's a good answer. I didn't expect. I got and maybe it's both. Maybe it's the Crush Workouts logo and half. Yeah, half and half. It's split right down the middle, or horizontally, depending on the aesthetic of it.
Your style is.
Yeah, exactly. All right, next question is: we got a dream concert coming up that you're going to, and this concert has 5 artists, living or dead. And now this is a question I purposely didn't ask you in advance, because you think about it a little bit. It's not a one. It's whoever you're thinking right now. Obviously tomorrow you text me yo Kev, by the way, it's actually not this one. I actually want to substitute someone in. That's fine. But who you thinking
so
now?
So any artist, an opera singer?
Yeah, any.
I don't have one.
Hey, Mozart is in my top 5. Honestly, I would.
Yeah, that's dope. Yeah. Apparently they say he might be black. I don't know.
It's possible.
I don't know if that's true, but to answer your question, number one would have to be Hove, Jay-Z.
All right.
He just embodies what rap is, and it's transcending his position as a drug dealer to rapper to mogul to giving back to the community, building, helping the black community, the culture and everything.
Right.
And you see his hands really dived into it. And what I always liked about Jay-Z and Beyonce is they always control the narrative of like how they appear. So they don't let other people, control how they look in the public eye. So they always control the narrative. So, but as far as like catalog and music, Jay #1 right now. Even though he's a terrible probably performer. Like I don't think you ever seen him next to Beyonce. Beyonce just like running laps on him. Like you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's true. Dope songs.
He just sitting there like
right. It's like, are you performing or are you just doing what I can do like in front of a mirror right
but
now?
Beyonce just offsets everything that Jay-Z does.
It's like she's doing twice as much than the average person, so it kind of balances out.
He's just the GOAT. Like he's done everything in hip hop that you can dream about doing. Like,
all right.
Like no disrespect to like the Tupacs, the Biggies, but Jay is just in the game longer. For worse or whatever, or for better, and he just did everything, and he's just doing more every time. Like he's soaking up knowledge, dropping gems. Like he's evolving. So I love to see a concert with him. #2 is my man Drake. Man, Juicy Drake, Six God. Man. You know what I'm saying?
I know. Did we talk about that song, man? That one where he's with the accent.
Oh
that joint, man. That freestyle. What's it called? Something freestyle.
Only you freestyle. Yes.
I was laying in bed when it came out upstairs, and I just I watched it, and I'm like, yo, this is the hottest thing I've seen in a while.
Let me ride by high school. Man, it's not hot.
I was like, yo, this is hot. This is like
he's spitting them bars out here. What
seriously. That's an artist, bro, that ever since he came out, we were in high school. We were in college when he came out.
Yeah.
So when he came out till now, he's been on top of the game from that moment to now.
Unprecedented,
not very many. Exactly.
Unprecedented time.
That's exactly it. There's not very many. For me, Ye has been not on top since he came out to now, because he's not on top anymore. But he's been like the longest time that. He's the artist that I've been a fan of for the longest duration of my life.
Yeah.
And so, but Drake is like undeniable. It's like, that time period, it's still today, and there's no reason to think that that's gonna do it anytime soon, unless if he wants it to, unless he wants to do something different.
Right.
So I could totally dig that. That's
but if you look at him since college, every time since 2008, 2009, since he dropped that So Far Gone mixtape on top, hits. You can be mad that he sings on songs sometimes,
right.
Whatever, you want him to rap all the time, but he's just a mix of everything.
Right.
Sometimes he feels like singing. Same with me, probably same with you. You feel like singing. Sometimes you feel like rapping, right?
Exactly.
So that's what he does, and when he wants to lay bars down, he drops some gems. Like he took an L, but who doesn't take an L? You know what I'm saying? Besides Floyd Mayweather, but Jay took an L to Nas. He took an L to Pusha. But regardless, he has hits that I would be in my. You saw Tyler the Creator at the his concert? I forgot the name.
No, which one? That's my guy.
So it was sometime last year. Tyler the Creator has a concert every year. I forgot the name of it. But they had Drake come out and they booed him off the stage or whatever. But Tyler the Creator is in the stands or in the crowd, just going crazy. He loves the song, but everybody else is booing. And I'm like, that would be me, because this guy has hits whatever you feeling at the time. And he's at our age where what he's talking about seems so real. Even with his situation with females, or just going to the club, or just involving being a parent right now. Man, Drake's #2.
Yeah.
I get 5.
You got 5, got 3 more.
So in their prime, I'll probably do LL Cool J. That's my guy.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Yeah.
He had too many hits, though, and he was just I think he was just naturally charismatic. Whereas that performant element just came to it. He had some of my favorite hits. That 4-3-2-1 joint, Who Shot Ya, Hey Lover, you know what I'm saying, or Boys to Men or whatever.
I'm thinking of when you said LL Cool J, the first song that I thought of, which I love. I'm about to listen to it after this.
Headsprung?
Actually, it's not. Wait, which one you said?
Headsprung.
Oh, well, I know that one. Did Timbo produce that? I think that's the joint.
Probably.
I think I forgot how it goes, but that's one of his popular songs in our generation.
Yeah.
I guess, right? I'm thinking of. It's not his song he's featured. I'm thinking of Paradise.
Okay.
I like
Paradise.
That joint, man. That's
he like that joint too. Huh?
That's A. Marie and him, right? Is that right?
Yeah. Paradise.
Yeah, very. I like that. That's a dope.
Yeah, LL's my guy, man. It's funny because he told that one story about he filmed a doing it video. I think he just got married, and him and his wife had a conversation. It's almost like going out with your boys and you don't tell your wife or your girl, whatever. And he didn't even tell his wife he was shooting the video, so she found out later. And of course, got tight about it. So LL Cool J's a funny dude, but like I would love to see LL Cool J like in his prime, like going ham, like Jingling Baby, I'm Bad, all them joints, like Mama Said Knock You Out. Yeah, that joint for sure.
That's actually dope. 2 more artists. Let's go.
All right, so I just thought about this. It would be the last two would be 50 Cent because that's my guy.
I know you're a big fan of his.
A1. I have to have him up there just performing them G Unit hits. Now would I actually attend a G Unit concert? Probably not. But I would love to see him like it was just performing. Yeah. Just not with the crowd. You know what I mean?
Just you is fine.
Yeah, maybe me like us or something. We all go. Last would be The Weeknd. If he could perform that first mixtape. House of Balloons.
I never listened to it. Okay, his first mixtape?
Oh man, yeah, House of Balloons. If you go on Spotify, maybe you have Google, right?
Yeah, YouTube.
Go to his. It's called I forgot it's called the Trinity or whatever he's called the first album, the trilogy.
Okay.
All his first 3 mixtapes are on there.
Okay.
But bangers, man, bangers.
Oh man, I gotta check that out.
Tearing up when you pre-gaming. Bro.
Okay. Wait, there was something you posted one day. I think it was someone that was. I think it was you that posted. You usually post a lot of real crazy funny stuff. Yeah. It was like a pregame going on, but I think it was like they were singing some R&B song. Was that you that posted that?
Oh yeah, when you talk about when you pre-gaming, but
Usher or something. I forgot what song it was.
I forgot. Yeah, I don't know. It was like Tank or something.
Yeah, it was some R&B song, and they were just going in like singing it.
Yeah, the concept of the video was like guys, they had like guns, they like pre-gaming, drinking, but they were like listening to R&B, so it was just like. Yo, you like you're pre-gaming, drinking with the homies, but all y'all like R&B.
All y'all like
so
R&B.
You just listening to Tank with the guns and everything and stuff like that. So it's like, funny.
You can't help yourself. Yeah, I like the song.
Man, shout out all the dudes that like R&B though. I grew up with sisters, so like she bumping that 90s R&B. So I just transitioning now. I'll be singing. I can't sing, but I do sing.
You try. I mean, you don't have to be able to. As long as you enjoy it, as long as you enjoy what you're doing, man, that's all that matters. But that's basically what I want to talk about today. I wanted to thank you again.
Oh yeah.
For hopping on, and I know you mentioned it earlier, but I want you to just give my audience just a heads up on where they can follow you.
True, yes.
And all that good stuff.
Trying to master this.
Yeah.
Kim Marcus, that's the name. But if you go to the IG page, I Still Wi-Fi Show, that's at I Still Wi-Fi Show on Instagram. On Instagram as well, the fitness page is Crush Workouts. You can follow all my fitness journeys. I post my foods, my workouts on a daily basis. YouTube, same thing, the I Still Wi-Fi Show podcast. Type it in YouTube, hit that subscribe button
and the notification bell.
Hit that, yeah, please do. Yeah.
I mean, just saying.
Crush Workouts. I'm getting that YouTube page going as well. It's growing organically, which I appreciate. I'm on SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, Google Play. I think I mentioned all this earlier, but I'm also on Twitter, I Still Wi-Fi Show, or I Still Wi-Fi. Crush Workouts on Twitter. Snapchat I don't really use like that. But those are places you can really find me on, man.
That's what's up, man. I'm gonna put all that
follow me, subscribe, all that good stuff, man. I got content coming. Not as much as Kev. Kev's on a roll right now. Massive entertainment right now, but yeah, I got things on the way.
That's what's up. I'm gonna put all the information too in the description below. And
well, thank you for having me, man. You're doing your thing. I appreciate it so much, man.
Really appreciate that. I was just thinking too, like next time we have a conversation, next time we have a conversation, having you on, I really enjoyed our talk the other day about like social media, promoting yourself, marketing yourself, all those types of things. I think both of us, are in distinct lanes, with similar passions and definitely similar drive in terms of like wanting to reach that goal, whatever that goal is for us. So I think that relaying that information, just talking about that, sharing some best practices and stuff like that.
Yeah, and how to navigate the haters and non-supporters.
Yeah,
you gotta keep it 100 out here.
I like how you pointed too. Like there might be a hater that's like, wait, is that me or would you? Yeah,
you people not supporting.
Yeah, we know who you are.
Yeah, trust me, do. I don't say nothing, but I know who you are.
I'm too nice to say that and not laugh. Like I felt uncomfortable saying that, but we do know who y'all are. So
it's just like when you have a wedding and you know who didn't give you a gift. I remember the same people. FYI.
Just so you know, okay.
Just so you know, I know.
You're not going.
Kev knows too. He just didn't say it.
I just didn't say it until just now. Now you know I know. Now you know I know. But yeah, man, appreciate it. This was dope. Super excited to get this out to you guys.
Awesome time.
And let's go see what the wives are doing downstairs.
Hey, yeah, for sure. Let's go.
All right, peace out.